Haley. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I've been on the THM this week, and I just wanted to kind of share the few things that I've done this week. I have lost weight, like it's working, and I'm not hungry, and I'm very happy with the program. It is a little bit time consuming in the beginning to try the new recipes, and but you know, I work full-time and I've been able to do it. So I guess I just kind of had to make it a priority, but I could see how it gets easier once you know like what you like, what you don't like. So I'm gonna kind of share some of my tips that I've learned so far. So tonight I did make my first zoodles. I don't know if you can see those, but I've never made these before. So I ordered my little zoodle maker, and it's just zucchini noodles. I packaged them into 3 bowls, and what I'm gonna do is I made the creamy Cajun chicken recipe. It's in my crock pot, it's all ready. So the chicken shreds really easily in there. So what I'm gonna do for my lunches this week is I've got my noodles divided up. This is just 1 zucchini. I just divided it into 3 different bowls. And then I'm just gonna scoop just a scoop of this yummy creamy Cajun chicken. So that will be one of my, you know, my lunch. I might have a salad on the side. I did find a Thousand Island recipe that I was really excited about because I love Thousand Island. So on my salads this week, I'm probably gonna do a boiled egg, like a hard-boiled egg, maybe some bacon bits, kind of do it Cobb style, a little bit of cheese, some Thousand Island, and then I'll have my Cajun chicken on my zoodles. That'll be so good. Like, I'm kind of excited about it. So I've got my eggs boiled. I've got to cut up the lettuce. I'm just gonna divvy it up into like 3 dishes. Some iceberg lettuce. Use my egg slicer. Like I said, a little bit of bacon bits, and then I'll probably keep my dressing on the side just so I can put it on right before. The Thousand Island's amazing, but to make the Thousand Island, I had to make ketchup first because ketchup goes in the Thousand Island, and I failed at a few ketchup recipes. I tried the recipe in the book, and I couldn't gag it down. Well, I had to toss it and start over. So then I went online and found a different ketchup recipe that was still THM on plan, and I love it. Like, it's perfect. So I will share that in my link below. I kind of tweaked it a little bit because it called for molasses, and we can't have molasses. It has sugar. It's not low glycemic. So I did just use some of my gentle sweet blend in there, but it turned out really good. So then I was able to use 1/4 cup of that ketchup to make my Thousand Island. And here's my homemade ketchup. I just have it in a little jar. And then this is my Thousand Island. It's a really nice color. It's creamy. It's got like dill pickle relish, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of the homemade ketchup, and then a cup of mayo, and 1/4 cup of water. And then you just mix it up, and it tastes amazing. I did make the chicken and dumplings recipe. It was pretty time consuming. That's one you would definitely want to make on the weekends. They're open. I don't know, it doesn't look very good when it's like in the fridge, but it heats up and it's like warm, and like it just has a really good flavor to it, and it's got a ton of nutrients. Like, it's really good for you. And this is an S, and you can have as much as you want. I actually would eat that with rolls, the nuke bread, where you microwave the bread and you get a little loaf of what looks like Wonder white bread is what it looks like. This is done in the microwave. So I've been just cutting slices off of this, and I've toasted it, ate it with butter. It doesn't count as an E because it doesn't have all the fiber in it is like not digestible. It's indigestible fiber from their baking blend, so it doesn't really count towards your carbs. So you can eat that. You can make it into an S or an E meal, just depending on what you're doing. But I did slice that up and kind of sop up my soup with it. That's been good, especially with the stew. So I did make a beef stew as well. And I have to tell you, like, my son's a super picky eater, and he usually will not eat beef stew when I make it. And this, he like gobbled it up. It was the best stew he's ever had. This does not have potatoes in it. We do not eat potatoes on Trim Healthy Mama except for sweet potatoes. No white potatoes, no red potatoes, no Yukon potatoes. I live in Idaho, people. We grow potatoes. So I took their advice and I used the little red radishes, and I quartered them and put them in there, and my husband and son thought they were little red potatoes. Like, cooking them takes that bitterness away, and it just makes them like into these kind of potato-like, but these are really yummy. I did really like this stew. I don't have a large family. There's just usually the 3 of us, and then I have 2 stepdaughters that pop in and out. These recipes are a little bit larger. So what I've been doing is I ended up freezing half the batch. So this half batch is in my freezer, so I can pull that out and it'll feed us. I actually didn't have this idea until like today, but I ended up buying these 3 little twist top containers. They're like Fred Meyer Kroger brand. I think it was $1.99 for 3 of them. They have a twist top, but they're freezer safe. You can go straight from the freezer to the microwave or the freezer and then dump it out on the stove and warm it up. In my case, I'll be in the microwave at work. But for 3 of them, I was like, okay, 75 cents. But I can divvy up like individual portions of soup or whatever I'm making and just take it with me. Just grab and go. So those are kind of cool. I bought 9 of those. I'm gonna try the brownies, the Cry No More brownies, I think is what they're called, with the frozen okra, which I'm super like nervous about, but I have the okra. These are the unsweetened chocolate squares that you use. They were on sale because it's like holiday baking season, so I ended up stocking up on them. The coconut oil, cocoa powder, I think sweetener. I use some defatted peanut flour. Like I found a recipe for these, the fat bombs, the little faux chocolates. And I've been eating those every now and then when I get like a sweet urge, and it's really helped just take that edge off, like when I want to reach for something sweet, which I have to say it's December and I work in a very busy dental office. People bring stuff in left and right. I think this week alone we had, donuts, a whole platter of cookies, brownies, banana bread muffins, like all this, like all these sweets. And I have not wanted any of it. So I'm really proud of myself. It's not willpower. It's just, you know, once you break that chain from sugar, it's not as hard to say no. You don't really feel like you're missing out. It took me a while to get to where it was worth not having the sugar, but now, it's definitely worth not having the sugar. Like, and if I can substitute like my ketchup and my dressing and like, you know, if I can have my sweet but without the sugar, like I'm so happy right now. Like I can't even tell you. Oh, I also made the lazy lasagna. Amazing. I can't tell you enough how much I loved this this recipe. It was so easy. So few ingredients. I don't know if you can see that yummy. Like it is so good, and it doesn't have any noodles in it. It has spinach, which my husband usually, like, he's allergic to vegetables. Like he does not eat his vegetables, and he loved this lasagna. Like he heated up a huge portion. He never eats leftovers, and he's been digging into this. So so I'm really happy with that. So that's been a really easy like grab and go for lunches too and dinner. So what I'm finding is these recipes, you definitely have leftovers, so I'm not cooking all the time. Like I think I cooked those 3 recipes within this week. So we've pretty much been eating on chicken and dumpling soup, the lasagna, and the beef stew have been like our 3 things that we've been eating on this week. And it's worked out really well, so we'll just do whatever we feel like for breakfast. I usually do eggs. Sometimes I'll scramble them with bacon bits and put a little bit of cheese on them and head out the door. And of course I have my coffee with, sometimes I'll do butter, sometimes I'll do cream and the on-plan sweetener. But then after my coffees, like I have 1 cup of coffee, and then usually before I leave the house, and then I'll make my my sipper for the day. And so that's what I do. I kind of, it's the Good Girl Moonshine, but I modified it just a little bit. I put some lime juice in it, so I just fill this with ice, and then I put the 2 tablespoons of the Bragg's, which I just keep this stuff out on the counter because it's in the morning and I'm like, what do I grab? So 2 tablespoons of this, apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of ginger, this ground ginger, and then I grab some lime juice, just like in a bottle, and I squirt a good, I don't know, I don't measure it out. It's probably 1/8 of a cup, probably 2 tablespoons at least of lime juice. And then I put 2 donks of the pure stevia in there. And then I fill this up with seltzer water. I just buy individual cans, I open them up, pour them in, and then usually I'll have just a little bit of room, I'll just fill that up with water. And then I take this to work with me, and then I put it in the fridge, and throughout the day I just sip on it. One thing I'm very excited about, you guys, so I found these at Fred Meyer. They fit inside your lid, your screw-on lid on your quart jar. And they have these fun straws. Like, look at these big old fun straws. And they fit in there. So pretty much, so this is gonna sit right on top of here. And then the lid will screw on. I haven't been super excited about emails. Like, I probably need to start eating a little bit more of the emails. I was really excited today about sweet potato fries. I don't know why, they sounded amazing. I think because I made ketchup today, and we went to Red Robin yesterday, and it was, you know, the best thing about Red Robin is their fries. And even their fry seasoning has sugar in it. I don't know if you guys, like, yeah, I was reading it and I was like, well, maybe I can put this on my salad and make it taste like fries, and I'm reading the back and it's got sugar in it. So couldn't do that either. So I had a bunless, they call it wedgie style, wedgie style. But I had like the hamburger wedgie style, so just wrapped in lettuce, and then I had a side salad instead of fries with like ranch dressing. But my husband and my son were like munching on French fries the whole time, and I was like, I think I missed the French fries more than I did like all the sweets in my office this week. So then when I got home today and I'm making ketchup, I was like, oh, I have some sweet potatoes, and I have this cool, I don't know if you guys have seen these from, this is a French fry cutter. Like, it's like an apple, you know, have you ever had an apple cutter? So you just push down on the sweet potato, and then you put it on here and push down the rest of the way, and it pops them out of the, anyways, it's really handy. I've used it a lot. I made my own gentle sweet blend. So I bought the super sweet blend, which is erythritol and stevia, is their super sweet blend, and then I got the pure stevia blend. But I didn't get the gentle sweet because I figured maybe I wouldn't need it, but then as I'm reading recipes, like a lot of baking, you would use it in your baking. So I made my own. I found the blend online of what to use, because I have like erythritol and xylitol and the pure stevia, so from that I could make up my own. So I found these wisps at Costco, Parmesan cheese crisps. They're pretty good, like for when, you know, you just want that crunchy like chips. A few of these will kind of curb that craving. For me, it's all about finding substitutes for your cravings. So for me, like when I crave sweets, if I can have a fat bomb or an on-planned brownie or a muffin in a mug or something like that, like if I can whip something like that up, I don't feel like I'm just going without. I definitely like to have like my drink to sip on all day. That helps. Like when I feel like I'm craving something, I can just sip that on that, and it's sweet, like it's sweetened. Oh, the other thing I was gonna mention is I had a hard time finding a sugar-free spaghetti sauce for the lasagna, the lazy lasagna. I had sent my husband to the store with kind of a list of stuff that he never shops, so for him to be in the store period is like a big deal for him. So, and then I'm like, okay, well, just get me a spaghetti sauce that doesn't have sugar in it. So he's looking at, like, he took a picture of the aisle, like there was like 500 different spaghetti sauces in that Walmart. And so he found a few that were like $6 a jar, and I'm like, there's gotta be, you know, one. So we actually found that the Prego marinara doesn't have sugar listed, and it was under $2, and this was like the best buy. What's nice about Trim Healthy Mama is you can have carbs. Like, I feel free to have those low glycemic carbs and not feel bad about it. I have to have carbs. Like, I'm not someone who can just live on fat and protein. So what would happen is I would say no, 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 feel like I was missing out, or like the cravings would just come back stronger, and then I would binge on whatever the heck I wanted, a bag of Oreos, or, you know, and so far I haven't really had that, like, because I'm able to substitute, like, you know, the other thing, like other sweet things with the sweeteners. You know, I feel like I've had my cake and I can eat it. Anyways, until next time, we'll see you later. Take care.